Yo, what's up guys? It's Pac here from Team Summer X1, and today I got top 32 at YCS Cancun, one of the funnest YCS I've been to. Huge shout outs to Sam for flying me out to this event. It was a pleasure to, of course, always play under the Team Summer X1 banner. And also huge shout outs to my testing partners for this event. Gunther, Jesse, Walter, Cam, Vince, Nash. Thank you. They really helped work and refine the deck list. So I was really happy overall with how the deck performed. And also huge shout outs to Wolf and Bozos, you guys know who you are, and everyone who lent me cards. Let's get started into the profile. But before we do, don't forget that the sleeves that I use for this event is the Supreme Pros. You can find these sleeves at teamsummerx1.com or tx1.com and use PAC10 for 10% off. Even my opponents were complimenting me on my sleeves and how great they felt when they were shuffling my deck, so I think you guys will really enjoy them as well. So I played 3 Tour Guide. That still has not changed. It's the best starter in the deck, or best one-card starter. And for the extenders and starters, I played 3 Arua, 3 Shavara. Not much really to say about these. For utility, 1-ofs, you play 1 Sarama, 1 Rakea, 1 Abominable, 1 Rhino, 1 Shayama, and then 1 Vice King. We cut the deck to 40 cards so that the deck would be more consistent, so I'm not playing the dog right now. And there are lines that can play through Nib without the dogs that we figured out, so the dog wasn't really that necessary. So that's why we cut the dog. Yeah, these are all really good utility cards. They're all great. For the Unchained cards, you play 3 Prison for the Rhoda, 1 Wailing Souls, I'll explain that in a second, 2 Chamber, and then 3 Escape. Wailing's really good being the 3rd name to pop. It came up for me twice to have the 3rd name to pop when I'm breaking my opponent's board. And then not only that, Wailing going second is really broken because you can set it off Shavara, then use Sarama to set it back after you popped it, and then flip it up, make Anguish, pop another one of their card, link off with Anguish and Abominable. You're popping you're just clearing more cards with this, and I think this card is really wonderful. And it comes up in the Flu matchup to have this going second against Flu, so I really like this card a lot. For the flex spot, Prosperity, best card in the game. 3 Talents, 3 Thrusts, and then 1 Herald of the Abyss for the Thrust. We thought that these were the best non-engine in the game, so we decided to not play any hand traps. When you go first and you make your board, you punish anyone trying to hand trap you, so you have all these cards in the main. And not only that, we didn't really want to play hand traps because we felt like a lot of people would be on Talents and Thrusts, and you just get hard punished if your opponent has those cards. So we decided to play no hand traps in the main deck. I played 1 Herald of the Abyss. I think Jesse and other people played 1 Change of Heart. That was the flex. That was the 40th card. I think Herald was really good for me. I played against 3 Pearly and Swiss, so I'm really glad I had Herald of the Abyss. In the mirror match, it's still fine to send their Caesar. So yeah, and the thing with these cards is that you make your board, and even if you don't get to use them, that means you made the full board and you have so much follow-up. Next turn, these cards just win you the game on the spot. So these cards were really good for me. Then we played the Dark Contract Sale. This card is insane. It's just basically more non-engine and an engine card, so it breaks your opponent's board going second while going first. It helps you play the game. And then I played Triple Book of Eclipse because it's just an insane card right now in the format. And like I said, we didn't really want to play hand traps, so the deck is 40 cards, so we had to slim a lot of cards down because I played YCS Vancouver with a 44 card lead deck, and I lost 3 matches to not top, all due to bricking. So I wanted to play a more consistent list, and that's how I ended up on this 40 card deck that we made. And I was drawing great hands all day except in top 32 where I bricked, so that's how I lost. But yeah, so other than that, the deck has been performing great for me, and I really like how this deck has really good defense. For example, if your opponent don't hand trap you, the talents kind of don't do nothing. The thing with the Unchained deck is that it plays really good defense, so that they almost never kill you. So as a result, these cards, even though they're in your hand, on the crackback, you have so much follow-up, and these cards just destroy your opponent. So that's kind of how we approach the deck. Just play it to make a really strong board, 5-6 interruptions. And as they're breaking your board, you're setting a follow-up. And so you pretty much win on the crackback on turn 3 almost every time as a result. I was getting Change of Heart, Talent, Nib, all this stuff, game 1. And I still won just because the deck is so strong when it goes first. A recent change, 3 Yama. This card is absolutely busted. We wanted 3 just because it's gonna be real. Some of the games are really grindy, and so having 3 of this card is insane to pretty much grind with your opponent. And sometimes if you play only 2, the unicorn can rip 1, so it's really rough. So I think 3 was really good for me. So I'm really glad I had 3. For the Unchained links, I played 2 Soul Rage, still the same ratio, and then I played 1 Anguish. The second one never really came up, so I think 1 is fine because we had to fit space for other things. And then I'm gonna go over, I guess, Nightmare Griffin, Unicorn, Mudraker, and Abomination. These 2 cards are how you play around Nib, so like they're still like that's why they're really good to have. And again, certain matchups, like it's better to make Griffin. And then Unicorn is Unicorn. 2 of the rank 6. I think this is a pretty common theme now, but you need 1 for going first, and the second one to pretty much break your opponent's board, or like on the crackback. Another cool thing about this double rank 6 is that sometimes you need to play around Nib and gain life points. So you can make 1, make a second one, link it off, and then search Dark Contract. And then the DDD Machinex for the flu matchup as well as Kastira. And for Zeusing, 1 Zeus, because we played 3 talents, 3 thrusts in the main, so Zeus is going to come up. And then the last tech card we play is Trouble Sunny, which is for the Ultimate Slayer in the side deck. So I'll go over the Ultimate Slayers first and the brick. I had to return them because I borrowed them last minute, but it's 3 Ultimate Slayer and then the 1 brick. Basically, we thought they would be really good in the mirror match because not a lot of people would be prepared for it. And I think Ryan did really well with it in his Dragon Link deck at Vancouver. What's also really cool about this card is that it's a Fiend monster, like the brick. So one of the coolest play I did during the tournament was I played against a Rika deck. I went normal summon Tour Guide, make summon Rhino, link Rhino and Tour Guide off into a Yama. The Rhino sends Kiss the Kill to the graveyard because it's a Fiend monster. If you guys read this card's effect, it has a secret hidden effect that no one reads, which says you can tribute 2 link monsters on your field to summon from the hand or the grave, okay? And it's a Fiend monster, so if you're a Fiend lock, you can still summon it. What this card says, if it's special summon, and your opponent controls 3 or more cards, they must send every card they control to the graveyard until they only control 2. What I did was, I went Change of Heart, took my opponent's Dance Peon, I used their Dance Peon plus my Yama to summon the brick. I go effective the Kiss the Kill and Lila to send they have 7 cards on the board, send their whole board to the grave. My opponent changed Emperor, and then I changed Shavar to pop it, he's also a Fiend. And then, so my opponent sent like all his cards to the grave, and then on Res, I went Yama effect because a monster got destroyed. And then, so I thought it was really cool, like an application of the brick that you could like do. And yeah, the card was good, but the main reason we played Ultimate Slayer was not really for the mirror, but mainly for the people who didn't really know how to set up the board to beat it, but also because it was really good into the Dragon Link board, it was good into the Rika board, it was good into like basically any Link monster board, so that's why I played it. I was really happy we did. The next couple cards we played were 3 Ash, which were pretty much cards that we started first for every matchup. It's like generically just good to back up your board with Ash Blossom. And then going second, it's just like covers every matchup, so I just wanted to have it. And it's like a good coverage for the Brandon decks. And then for like the 1-ofs off thrust is 1 Darumidol for Shifter, 1 Change of Heart for the Mirror, an Evenly Match for Rescue Ace, because I think it's better than Storms and Duster, 1 Lightning Storm, 1 Duster. I just like the versatility off of this, because like when you play against Chimera, you want Evenly Match. Like when they go draw face Mirror's Night, you want to thrust for Evenly and then Evenly their whole board. So I thought having a 1 of Evenly is like better than the second Storm. I think like Jesse and Gunther played the second Storm instead, but yeah, I like the 1 Evenly. And then I played a super foul card, Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood. Basically, like I would side this card in, even with 25 minutes left on the clock in game 2 against the Mirror, because of the fact that like you have so much follow-up. You just need to not die, so when you play this card, you just pretty much guarantee you don't die, and you play for next turn. Also, the Mirror match is super grindy, so like the game can get really, really long, and that's why Spooky Dog was really, really good. It's kind of like a tier mirror. Like we played this in tournament as well, because the tier mirror took forever. Same in the Unchained mirror, it takes forever, so that's why like I thought this card would be insane. Yeah, I think Unchained is really well positioned in this format. I don't know if it was the best choice for Cancun because it was so prepared for by now, because I usually like to gravitate towards deck that I think are the best choice to play, even though it might not necessarily be the best deck. And so obviously in Brazil, this was the best choice and the best deck, so that's how I did really well there. But yeah, as like as more YCS came, I didn't really have a lot of time to prepare for like the Vancouver or Cancun YCS, so I kept sticking with Unchained. But I do think like one of the things that I could have done better in hindsight was maybe use some more time, even though I didn't have a lot of time, to like figure out a better meta call for Cancun to maybe like have performed better. But I'm so happy with the results. Like I still did really well. And the tournament was super stacked. Like literally in 10 rounds, I think I played against like 4 known players. So yeah, overall, I'm really happy with the result, and I look forward to doing better at YCS Indy. So I'll see you guys there, and don't forget to say hi if you see me. Peace.